Exclusive first look tonight at security video showing a teenager with a cache of stolen guns riding his bike through an Escondido playground full of kids. The story got national attention because the school district waited 14 minutes before calling 911. NBC7's Dave Summers joins us from Oak Hill Elementary with the video. And also, I know, Dave, you talked to parents who saw this for the first time.
Yeah, Oak Hill parents frustrated by how the school handled this threat are tonight, Catherine, outraged by what they're seeing. What they're seeing is how close this person on the bike with the guns actually got to their kids in a place they thought was safe, right here at their own playground. On August 31st, with a stolen rifle slung around his neck and 2 more guns in the other bag, 19-year-old Johnny Martinez is about to weave through dozens of Oak Hill Elementary School kids and teachers at recess.
Oh my gosh, that is crazy. That's unbelievable.
It's atrocious. It makes me feel terrified.
The 34-second ride was captured on 3 school security cameras and obtained by NBC7. The first glimpse is in the Oak Hill's front parking lot, highlighted at the top of your screen. Camera 2 has Martinez coasting his way through the courtyard in the center of campus. On camera 3, Martinez weaves through dozens of children and some teachers on his way to an opening in the playground fence. Here it is again. The children are digitally disguised to protect their identity, but fair to say, Martinez rode within feet of them.
Kind of gave me goosebumps seeing that. I mean, knowing that my son was here.
I was worried, scared for the kids. Like, he could have grabbed one of them.
Escondido Union School District Superintendent Luis Ibarra turned down a camera interview, but in a statement identified changes at Oak Hill since the security breach. He wrote, "Made clear the 911 policy is first call. Reinforced openings in the fence, gates are locked during school hours. Fast-tracking new fence project, additional crisis response training, and continue to support students and staff in preparing for emergency situations." Parents are pleased with some changes, but not all.
I'm happy that they keep the gates locked now and that, like, you have to go through with a teacher only.
Security is tighter, fences are on the mend, but rebuilding parent confidence is slower going. Armed cyclist Johnny Martinez last week pled guilty to 2 felonies, burglary and having guns on school grounds. He was sentenced to 4 years in state prison. Reporting live in Escondido, I'm Dave Summers, NBC7.
Now to our other top story. We have new information about the death of Elisa de la Cruz, the 3-week-old baby found in an Imperial Beach dumpster. And this information comes straight from the man who found the child. NBC7 first identified and spoke with Harold Sherman, or Freddie, as he's known in the neighborhood, last night. Today, he sat down for an exclusive interview with NBC7's Dave Summers. Dave?
Well, Monica, Harold Sherman spent half his life in jail and most of the other half homeless. He was diagnosed with schizophrenia at the age of 9 and is a recovering drug addict. Still, this guy, who has had so many people turn their back on him, could not turn his back on baby Elisa and her family. To pay for a bus pass and a meal, Harold Sherman daily swallows his pride to pick through your garbage for cans. He deals with the smell and the filth, but even these eyes, hardened by life on the street, wept at the sight of Elisa.
And it hit me. It hit me. It just, that's a baby. That's a baby, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, but my conscience wouldn't let it go. My conscience couldn't let it go. I wanted to cry, and then I got angry. I was mad as hell, bro.
Sherman found the 3-week-old girl Sunday morning. It appeared she had been dead only a short time. Because this alley is part of his regular route, Harold was able to tell investigators the girl was dumped sometime between Saturday at 11 a.m. when he saw the dumpsters emptied and 9:15 Sunday morning when he returned to pick through them.
It makes me feel sad. It makes me feel sad.
Sherman returns to the dumpster for the first time since he found Elisa.
You guys can't be back here.
Your next trip. I'm sorry?
Can't be back here.
And sure enough, he was shooed away, even though, had Harold not been in that dumpster Sunday, Elisa might never have been found.
You work back here, and that's great, yeah.
Shine your good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea, and that's what I live up to. I try to.
Candles, flowers, toys, and well wishes to Elisa's family crowd the sidewalk at Rainbow and Palm Avenues. Sherman has seen the sidewalk shrine only on TV.
I got goosebumps. That's the first time I came to see it. I heard about it.
What compels a person, no matter the station in life, no matter how others perceive them, to be moved by the death of a child? It's the same thing that has brought so many of you to this same corner.
Dignity for what is right. You know, it's not right that that child was there. I was not going to allow that to be the last resting place of that child.
Los Angeles County is more than doubling the reward for information about the case. The LA County Board of Supervisors approved a $25,000 reward for information leading to the arrest and conviction of those responsible for the De La Cruz kidnapping. I'm Dave Summers, NBC7.
Come here. Come here.
Mary Ledvinka met Victoria Turner last September when she adopted Boomer from Turner's Animal Rescue Coalition. There was animal urine and feces all over the floors.
It was disgusting and sad.
They found the skeletal remains of a cat underneath all of that.
It breaks my heart, and I feel very sad and upset because it never should have happened.
Ledvinka is an animal activist and thought she could help. Last October, she traded cleaning and animal care services in exchange for free room and board. It didn't take long for her to realize
This woman, she's not a rescuer. I mean, she's being cruel.
accounts of cruelty extend to former World War II vet and homeowner, 90-year-old Robert Stella. This photo shows Stella in his eating space, surrounded by clutter, trash, and mice droppings.
Oh, she would tie him up. She would tie him up to the bed and not feed him.
The voice is another tenant, Josh Curry, who wished not to be on camera. He moved here from Arkansas 8 months ago after answering a Craigslist ad for a home caregiver.
She would tease him with food and everything. She would put it to like pretty far away, and then she would tease him with it.
Josh and Mary both say they filed complaints against Turner with Adult Protective Services. The house was raided last week, and Turner disappeared. Victoria Turner, I'm Dave Summers with NBC7. This was no chance meeting. NBC7 Investigates found Mary Ledvinka in court records. She is suing Turner in small claims court for the return of her cat. The two had a falling out in January. Mary left the house.
Hi, Victoria, it's Mary.
Concerned about the animals and in an effort to help us reach Turner, Ledvinka called Victoria and left a message. Mary says Turner called back the next day asking that she write and sign a declaration outlining the treatment of Stella and the animals.
At no time did I see a dead animal in the house. What about that one I did see in the back? I don't want to get in trouble or anything.
Ledvinka typed what she was told, emailed it to Turner. These are excerpts from the statement Turner brought back for her to sign. At no time did I see a dead animal anywhere in the house. Robert was happy and actively enjoyed being around the animals. I declare under the penalty of perjury that these statements are true. Is that a lie?
Yes, it is.
Turner tried to snatch back the declaration before her retreat. Victoria, how do you think you treated Mr. Stella? Was it fair treatment? Do you think those living conditions were fair to the animals or Robert? Is there anything that you would like to tell me about the condition of that home? Turner has not been charged with a crime. San Diego Police, Adult Protective Services, and Animal Control, though, are all investigating. And we have an update on Robert Stella, whose family says he was actually near death when they rescued him from the house last week. Take a look at these most recent photos taken by family members who told us Stella is recovering well. He spent the first few days in intensive care at the hospital and is now resting comfortably at a skilled nursing facility. His family hopes to move Robert to a retirement home when he's walking and able to care for himself. I'm Dave Summers, NBC7 Investigates. Mark, NBC7 Investigates discovered Turner was involved with 2 other men of similar age at the same time she may have been married to Robert Stella. We have exclusive interviews with families who are voicing these new allegations. 81-year-old John McNamara shot and killed himself at his Lemon Grove home in 2011. The San Diego County Medical Examiner's report indicates at the time, across the hall in another bedroom was Victoria Turner.
If she's supposed to be a caregiver, how in the hell did he get a hold of a gun?
John Jr. and his wife Catherine say they were notified by an uncle, not the coroner nor the hospital. Why? On the death certificate, Turner was identified as having power of attorney for McNamara.
I can't even look into his accounts and all that kind of stuff because her name is on a death certificate.
Her objective was to get his money.
The McNamara's say Turner's relationship with their father was somewhere between female companion and caregiver. They say John took her to expensive restaurants, that he would help her with her video production company, and some nights Victoria would stay over, even though their father told John Jr. and Catherine Turner was married.
I thought it was, thought it was pretty different, but like, what am I going to say?
NBC7 Investigates did find a marriage certificate on file. It indicates while all this was going on with McNamara, her husband of record was none other than Robert Stella.
All right, I'm going in.
It was Stella's home, raided by police and animal control 2 weeks ago. Investigators found it was overrun by more than 20 dogs and cats. Garbage and animal waste was piled wall to wall. Stella's children and roommates say Turner trashed the place. In her request for restraining orders, Turner says it was Stella's family that trashed the house. The house looked like a hurricane had hit inside. Mirrors were smashed. Televisions destroyed. Family pets were running loose in the streets, Turner wrote.
Trust.
NBC Investigates dug up a 10-year-old copy of Victoria's Secret's Closet. It was a public television program about notable La Jollans. At this roundtable discussion is a much younger Robert Stella. The show host is Victoria Turner. And there's another man, 80-year-old retired engineer Victor Sell, dubbed the Futurologist.
And just, playing to how important he thinks all of that is and making him feel important because he is a futurologist.
Victor's family says he became another of Turner's companions. His son Chris Sell and daughter-in-law Tamsin saw NBC7 Investigates report and are taking action. They changed the locks on Sell's house. They're grooming the deteriorating yard, already starting to look like the mess in Robert Stella's property. They're disposing of the flea market items they say Turner started to accumulate in his garage. They had to eliminate Turner from Victor's sensitive accounts.
Off the credit card, off the health directive, off a medical emergency, off her email is off the bank account.
Victoria? NBC7 Investigates tracked down Victoria last week to talk to her about Stella. She did not want to answer our questions and avoided the camera. We attempted to reach Turner and her attorney about these new allegations. Turner did not return our calls. Her attorney declined comment.
How exactly did we get to this point?
Besides Victoria Turner, the families of all three elderly men share a common frustration of many adult children. That is, knowing when their parents need protection.
You have to really watch. You can't say, okay, this is my father and he's making the right decisions because he's my father.
In seeking the restraining orders, Turner indicates she was physically threatened by Stella's daughter Michelle and son-in-law William, as well as Josh Curry. Quote, "He had me in fear for my safety," Turner said. Stella family members deny Turner's accusations. Turner has not been charged with a crime. I'm Dave Summers, NBC7 Investigates. Well, Mark and Catherine, Robert Stella and family members recently filed a restraining order request against Victoria Turner. The court filing was prompted by this surprise visit to the care facility in La Jolla where the 91-year-old is staying. NBC7 Investigates obtained a copy of the security tape there and the restraining order affidavits. In them, staffers and Stella family members say Turner used a disguised and fictitious purpose for her being there to avoid detection. The unwanted visitor to this La Jolla rehab center last month may have temporarily slipped past staffers, but she did not get by the security camera view.
And then to see him in that video, he just looked like a child, looking so vulnerable.
Michelle Redfield's father, Robert Stella, who just turned 91, was rescued from the garbage and filth in his own home last March. He is on his way to a full recovery.
He's very witty and in good spirits, and he's, all smiles.
Redfield says that mood changed during this encounter with his estranged wife, Victoria Turner.
My father recognized her, and then once she left and we had shown pictures to the nurses, they knew it was her.
While she has not been charged with a crime, Turner, nearly 40 years his junior, is the subject of a San Diego police elder abuse investigation and county animal neglect and cruelty investigation. At family court, when questioned about the rehab center visit, Turner did not answer and quickly walked the other way. Did you go visit Robert Stella in a disguise? Facility staffers explained some of what is seen on the security video and affidavits attached to this adult abuse restraining order. You are seeing only parts of the recording from multiple cameras. NBC7 Investigates is not identifying the rehab facility nor staff members. Redfield says Turner wore a disguise that April 5th morning, a gray wig and dark glasses with a large vase of wildflowers she held in front of her face.
They were completely wilted white roses, so they were mostly brown, and that they all agreed was creepy.
In her statement, a certified nurse assistant said when she asked Turner her name, she simply said church and kept walking. Her face was hidden behind a vase of flowers, and it appeared to me that she was trying to cover herself. Turner found Robert in his wheelchair alone in the cafeteria. Stella told his daughter she put reading glasses on his face and a pen in his hand. Stella said Turner 8 times told him to sign changes to his will, give her control over his medical treatment, and add her to his estate trust.
She starts really moving in on him physically, and you see him just moving further away from her.
Stella refused to sign any documents. The commotion drew several aides nearby. They escorted the intruder to a nearby hallway while Turner tried to make a phone call. The video doesn't show it, but Redfield says Turner took off while staffers went to get an administrator. The Redfields don't blame administrators for the security breach, but the incident has put the rehab facility on high alert. I'm Dave Summers, NBC7 Investigates. Where the Vista Theater Mark in Catherine has placed these bait traps strategically near the exit doors, and according to the health report, there are also other traps that have been placed on the inside. Like most people that come to Sinopolis, the Amador family was attracted by the luxury theater seating. They just weren't prepared to share it with rodents. Goosebumps is the spooky story of monsters accidentally released from children's books and into the real world. The Amadors say the scariest part was not on screen, but in Theater 13.
It was big. It was black. Like this big. Fatty.
Last Tuesday, Teresa Amador, her husband, and 2 kids were refunded their money after complaining to management about rodents in their row.
It had 2 feet up on the seat like that, like if it was watching the movie too.
I put my feet up and then I just let it run across me.
Our investigation of the complaint prompted an environmental health department inspection. In part of a revised statement released Thursday by a Sinopolis spokesman, MJ Salcido wrote, a health inspector from the County of San Diego Department of Environmental Health came out yesterday to Sinopolis, USA's Vista Theater location in response to the situation that occurred in one of our auditoriums. The inspector gave the theater a nearly perfect score. County spokesman Gig Connaughton says inspectors did find some evidence of rodent droppings inside a storage cabinet, but no contamination, no evidence of rodents in the food preparation areas, and did issue them a minor violation. Amador was not satisfied with just her money back. She wants to warn other parents.
They're putting people at risk, and they're there for profit.
That's not the end of our scary story. NBC7 obtained a copy of the theater's food inspection report completed last May. Inspectors observed vermin droppings at the bottom of all cabinets behind the concession stand, droppings in the kitchen area, on the floor, underneath soda boxes, observed a live mouse on the floor behind the concession stand. It was a vermin infestation. The food facility was ordered closed. It reopened the next day after cleanup and a call to exterminators. The company spokesman said, Sinopolis, USA is committed to doing everything possible to ensure a clean, safe, and enjoyable theater experience. If the Amadors were looking for scary thrills, they certainly got their money's worth.
When you are watching a scary movie, it's kind of scary.
But they aren't in any hurry for the sequel. The DEH was here earlier, and they were checking out the pest control methods that the company was using. Also some possible openings in the building or doors where rodents might be getting in or nesting. The company says Echo Lab is handling all of its pest control services. Reporting live in Vista, I'm Dave Summers, NBC7.